Hey guys, so a couple days ago I went to the drive-in and saw Baby Driver. This is a movie that I've been greatly looking forward to for the last couple months since I've been getting trailers and advertisements up the asshole for this. This is a movie that, even though I've been bombarded with advertisements and stuff like that, especially if you've been watching NBA Finals. We're watching NBA Finals. I didn't mind because it was a movie I was really looking forward to. This is a movie that, from just the get-go, I could tell was going to be something that was right up my alley. It was a kind of a lighthearted comedy action movie that looked like Drive, something like Drive, but it was written by and directed by Edgar Wright, the guy who made Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, The World's End, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. A few movies. I've seen two of the four. I've seen Shaun of the Dead and The World's End. I never saw. Haven't got a chance to see Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which I hear amazing things about. And I started to watch Hot Fuzz and then never finished watching it. I don't know why. Wasn't that I wasn't enjoying it or anything. I was just I don't know. I don't know why I did. But I was like, all right, cool. I love seeing this guy keep making movies. I want to see him keep getting work and everything else, and seeing his movies get wide releases. I was happy, and this movie's been getting really well promoted. It had an amazing cast. From the looks of it, it had a really amazing cast. Like I said, it was something that I could tell easily that it was going to be something I was going to enjoy. From just the trailers. I love the trailers for this movie. I love the advertisements for this movie. This movie's been getting really well received for the last 2 months. I think it premiered at South by Southwest, and it has gotten a lot of critical praise ever since. And it's caught my attention. It's one of the best reviewed films of the year too. So I was like, wow. It's probably, I think it's Edgar Wright's best reviewed film up to date. And yeah, if this movie isn't in my top 5 at the end of the year, I will be fucking shocked. This movie is fantastic. I fucking thoroughly enjoyed this thing. I haven't had this much fun watching a movie in a long goddamn time, honestly. I really enjoyed this thing. I highly recommend it. And this could easily be this could make my number one best film of the year list coming to the end of the year. I'm not sure. It's only 7 months. By this time tomorrow, it'd be 7 months into the year. There's still a lot more to come out, so I ain't gonna say that it will, but who knows? We haven't even got to Oscar award season yet, but I also would be shocked if this gets some nominations come Oscar time. I hope to God it does, especially on the end of Edgar Wright, who just this for writing and directing especially, but also some acting nominations. This movie, the cast is fantastic. The cast is probably one of the best parts about this. Ansel Englehart, who I don't know if I'm sure I'm saying his name right, but if I'm not, sure somebody can tell me in the comments. He has, without a doubt, maybe my favorite name in Hollywood, other than Benedict Cumberbatch. Those are the two best names in Hollywood. But he is great in this movie. This kid's going to go a long way. I see this kid go a long way in Hollywood. He's so charming and charismatic in this thing. I would even give him an Oscar nomination if he could get one come Oscar time. He is really good and carries this. He helps. He is a really good lead for this movie. Previously to this, I hadn't seen. Only thing I really had seen him in was Fault in Our Stars, and I loved him in that movie. And that was a movie I didn't really expect to like, and I did like. He was really good in that. He is really good in this. He's charming. as hell. He's a great three-dimensional character that you really give a shit about. He's a character that doesn't always say much, but he does when he does. He's really good actor in this fucking movie. He's a kid who is a driver for Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey is fucking amazing in this too. Jesus Christ, he is. He is Kevin Spacey. When hasn't Kevin Spacey played a bad guy, and when has he played a bad guy well? That's just the fucking question. Even when he played Lex Luthor, he did it fucking well. Even though the movie wasn't that good, he was probably one of the best parts of it. Superman Returns. He is really good in this thing. But the kid, Ansel Englehart, plays a baby who's this driver for Kevin Spacey, who basically leads this group of criminals who do all these bank robberies, and Baby is their driver, and he's the best at it. And he is a kid who tried to steal, I believe the story is that he tried to steal a car from Kevin Spacey, and so he owes a debt to him. And when the movie begins, he is close to paying off his debt, and once he pays off the debt, he thinks that he will be free to do whatever he wants at that point and not have to drive anymore. Of course, that's not, if you've seen any of these movies, you know that's not the case. This kid's also got tendonitis, I forget what it is, where he has ringing in his ears, so he to drown out the ringing in his ears, he listens to music constantly, and most of the movie is set to music, including the opening scene, which is fantastic. One of the best opening scenes I've seen in a long time, especially in a movie like this, where it's just set to music and has barely any dialogue, and it's really well done, really well shot, really well paced. God damn, it's really good scene. It sets the tone instantly, and he got ringing in his ears from when he was a kid. He was in a car accident that killed his parents, and he also has got this relationship with this waitress played by Lily James, the girl who played the recent Cinderella in the recent Cinderella movie, and she's really good in this movie. That's a girl that's been primed to be a big name actress that kind of fell off the face of the earth for the last couple of years. Man, I got the hiccups here. But yeah, Ansel Englehart is freaking great. He is really good in this thing. And also Jamie Foxx, holy shit, pulls off probably one of my favorite performances other than Kevin Spacey. He is terrifying in this, honestly. He's like this really sadistic gangster esque guy, bank robber, who will shoot you or kill you for just being in his way when he's doing a bank robbery and ask no fucking questions about it. He is really good at a guy who gives Baby a lot of shit and doesn't really trust him, and has a lot of really tense scenes where Jamie Foxx is looking like he might try to kill somebody that Baby knows, and it's really good. You see him being the main villain towards the end of the movie. You think that's where it's going, but it kind of is and isn't, without getting the spoilers. Because also you got John Hamm, who is great too, who's he's married to a fellow bank robber who from the beginning you could tell him and his wife kind of take a liking to Baby because they know he's kind of good at his job, and that they also kind of defend him when other people are giving him shit. And you kind of see maybe this is a guy who's kind of sympathetic to his character, but towards the end he becomes a full-on sadistic human being. John Hamm is great in this thing. I was really happy to see something like him and Jamie Foxx doing kind of different roles than they usually do. playing like sadistic characters. That was kind of fun. The action in this movie is fantastic. This movie is really I can't believe I have to, but I say this all the time when talking about action movies. It's sad that I have to praise an action movie when I can tell what the fuck is going on in an action movie. But with the state of action movies nowadays, that is a serious problem. Like movies like Good Day to Die Hard, Taken 3, Jesus Christ, where you can't tell what's going on. And this action director should take notes from movies like this, John Wick 2, the Raid movies, because these are how to make a fucking confidently made action movies. And like the action set pieces are great. I'm trying to think. I also really liked the fact that with this movie, like, you can tell going in, like, while this movie is like a lighthearted, it's a pretty funny comedy. When shit gets real, it gets real. It gets pretty fucking violent towards the end of this movie. It earns its R rating. Like, probably about halfway through this movie, is like, this really didn't need an R rating, other than like cussing and stuff like that, saying the F word here and there. It's like it didn't really need an R rating. And then halfway through the movie, it gets pretty fucking violent. Because things escalate pretty quickly throughout this movie, and you can tell that things are not going to end well. Honestly, I didn't even know fucking Baby was going to live to see the end of this movie. Like, it wasn't a fucking given, in my opinion. I was kind of like worried for his character. I was interested in where it was going. Like, you know, with this movie, like what will happen to everybody. And I expected a lot of people to die, and a lot of people do die in this movie. It's a movie, when it gets dark, it gets pretty dark. But it's a really goddamn good movie. If there is one thing I will complain about, and this is very minor. This is something I thought about after as I was driving home. I was like, ah, shit. I was like, man, this is something I could even gotta bitch about a little bit. What was the point of John Bernthal being in this movie? If you've seen advertisements or trailers for this thing, he's like in every one of them. You know, I expected his character to be a pretty big character. He's in the opening scene, and then the scene after that, and it never shows up again. I was like, oh, well, okay. I said, well, I mean, he has a bigger role than fucking James Franco in Alien Covenant, but damn. I mean, hell, James Franco was a bigger role. I was like, was he busy doing The Punisher or something? I don't know. I was like, was he too busy doing that? Like, I was half expecting his character to pop back up at the end, towards the end of the movie, but he never does. It's like, huh. I like John Hamm and stuff. It's like Kevin Spacey says in the beginning of the movie that, or somewhere in the middle of the movie, he says something that he never uses the same guys twice in a row for a bank robbery, which he ends up breaking that fucking rule, because the opening bank robbery is John Hamm, his wife, and John Bernthal. And then the next one is Jamie Foxx and two expendable guys. And then the next one after that is Jamie Foxx, John Hamm, and his wife. So he did use Jamie Foxx twice in a row, and I'm like, he broke his own goddamn rule. It's like, wait a minute, so why didn't they just bring John Bernthal back? I was kind of bummed out about that. And he's pretty much kind of like the same kind of character, given the same kind of role that Jamie Foxx ends up doing, which kind of makes it like, well, what is the point of John Bernthal's character if he's just basically the white version of Jamie Foxx's character? So I don't know. I was like, but he was great when he was in it, but I was like, I would like to see more of it. That would have been more fun to see him more in it, or in it more. I liked his character for what we got. As John Bernthal's great. He's a fucking great Punisher. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I highly recommend this movie. You haven't figured that out. When I say complain about the John Bernthal thing, trust me, that is minor. All right, that's the only thing I complain about. And this movie is okay. It's fine by me. It's like you can find something to pick apart any movie really if you want to. It's like I said, it's not bad. It's a very good movie and highly recommend seeing it. Like it's one of the best movies of the year so far, easily. I'll be back here shortly with my review for the other movie I saw at the drive-in.